Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the BZ-176. It's the Tier 8 Chinese premium heavy tank. It's located on the southwest spawn of Oyster Bay, and it's under the command of bublus of OLIMP. And we've got a bit of a treat for you, because it's a 3 replay video, not just one, 3. Okay, game on. Well, the BZ-176 is famous for the fact that it's got rockets on it. Just the other day, the Mighty Jingles did a replay featuring this tank, and he didn't even know it was in the game, actually, so he was quite surprised when the rockets went off and it started propelling itself at high speed. Now, of course, you only get a limited number of firings of the rocket because they need time to refuel, and after you've used them up, then you can't use them again. Well, it looks like he's got 2 more firings before he's run out of fuel. Now, it's a 16cm main gun. As you can see here, it's actually capable of doing 650 alpha and penetrating 208mm with standard ammo, but he's loaded the premium ammo, which is capable of 800 alpha and 225mm of pen. In fact, actually, it's not the HE, it's the well, it's the premium ammo anyway, the high explosive Shure MV7X, which I presume is like a Hesh round. But anyway, you'll notice that the turret itself, the gun, is actually in a pintle mounting, which means that the actual turret roof is pivoting, and that whenever that's in a gun depressive mode, you can actually show a weak spot to the enemy. It's only 40mm on that armor, so you need to be careful you don't expose a weak spot every time you have to shoot in gun depression. Well, he's used up all but one of his rockets, and now he's actually spotted a Super Hellcat at the back, wipes him out with 1 round, picked up 800 hit points off the Super Hellcat, who's now back in the garage scratching his head. But there is a Tiger P behind that rock. He did block a shot from the Tiger P, and oh yes, KV5, he hit it on the weak spot. He did get a lot of hit points off him, picked up 741, but he's actually going to use this last rocket to get around the KV5, try and poke us round into the side of him. Let's go for the weak spot again. And he does get it. It's 850 hit points of that one. So you can see he's actually using that ammunition to good effect, because with a 800 alpha, that means he did get a high roll right into the Dalek. Now, can he get another hit? I think he can. And he's got the KV5, but he's blocked himself up against the wall. Now, the KV5 is actually quite a heavy tank, so it takes a bit of work to get yourself out. And the Tiger P is probably worried now, because he realizes he's going to get the same treatment. Okay, he's waiting for the reload. Yeah, takes a round. Goes low plate, gets it. Gets a high roll this time for 957. Yeah, he did take some damage from the Tiger P, and he probably doesn't want to get hit again if he can help it, because the Tiger P could knock him out if he gets a high roll. So he's going to be careful on this. Okay, he's reloaded. There we go. And he gets it, but he doesn't kill the Tiger P. Now he's leading right from the front, pushing the enemy back. 2 kills already. Now, can he get another one? Unfortunately, this is where it gets a bit of a problem. But he does get him. The gun depression is actually 10 degrees, but as I said, every time that gun pivots, you actually expose the top of the turret, and that's a weak spot, 40mm thick. Okay, moving on. Top speed of this thing is normally 30 kilometers an hour. But obviously the rockets speeded up, but he's got no more rockets to spare, and now he's got the top of a Ferdinand, or the side of it actually, and he pumps around in, which is a low roll for 794. Now these are premium rounds, and the Ferdinand has gone down to the KV3. He's certainly leading from the front in this game. But he needs to be careful because he is a one-shot, and there are still some enemies out there who could do some serious damage, like the Barask or the Pantera. KV3 backing him up. Okay, there could be a tank destroyer up ahead. Yes, in fact, it's the Arty. Takes him out with one shot. Good job he did take that shot when he did, because the Arty on his own team wanted that kill. That was the M12, and he got it bang on target. You can see that one of the enemies is just around the corner. It's the Pantera over by that bunker. Now, if we do go after him... Oh, no. Yes, he got him. So that's his 5th kill of the game. Now, Bublus is actually in platoon with the Barask on the team. And he's a little further away. He's actually in the field. Oh, missed the chance to get the top gun off the T-25-2. But there's still 2 enemies out there. A Barask and a Challenger. The Challenger's going to be the real problem, really. The Barask's got the autoloader 105. He's gone. He's been killed. Taken out by our Super Hellcat, which just means that it's just the Challenger. And he is up at front. Now, he can only do 150 each shot. But there he is. Can we get the kill? Oh, missed out on the kill because our platoon mate got there for us. And that is the end of the game. And it's a victory. Well, that was an incredibly aggressive game by Bublus in the BZ-176. It was also his first ace tanker in this vehicle. Yes, you can see the ace and the scrolls underneath. You only get the scrolls the first time. So congratulations on breaking your first ace in this vehicle. You got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team, and 1 short of getting that top gun. And it's a pity that it was his platoon mate who actually got the kill that ended the game, because if only he'd realized that, yes, you needed 1 more kill to get that top gun, he probably would have been able to give it to you. But I think he wanted to make sure that Challenger went down before he put any rounds into the Barask. He also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a 5 for effect for doing more damage to the hit points for his own vehicle. And because his platoon mate got at least 3 kills and he got 3 kills, he got a brothers in arms. And finally, he got the high caliber because he literally blasted his way through the enemy team. And his win rate from that game was 10,408, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he definitely got the highest damage with 5,645 hit points. Nobody was even close to him on the enemy team or his own. The AMX M449 Liberté managed to get 2,093 hit points. And then after that, it was the Borsig who got 1,936. So he was so far ahead of the others in this game. His platoon mate got 1,505, which is actually in 5th place because the Barask on the enemy team managed 1,550, just ahead of him. But his platoon mate did pick up the brothers in arms. When it came to kills, yep, he got 5 kills out of that game. 3 kills went to his platoon mate and also to the Barask on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's the only one over 1,000 with 1,666, with his platoon mate getting 912 and the AMX M449 Liberté getting 889 in 3rd place. He fired 10 rounds, only 10 rounds, but he got 10 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations. I think the Tiger P was the one he was having difficulty trying to penetrate at the end. 2 splashes as well, 5,645 hit points, all of it closer than 300 meters, all close range. 9 hits received from the enemy, only 4 of which actually penetrated. So they were having difficulty trying to get through his armor, and some of the armor is very well angled. He also got 5 non-penetrations and block damage of 1,230 hit points in total. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 698 hit points of damage assistance. Now, on a premium account, he actually earned a profit of 64,793 credits, and that's despite the fact that he was firing a lot of premium ammo, and he did have to pay full price for the consumables. He picked up 25 bonds for getting a mission completion, and 5,248 experience points altogether. So a very good first ace tanker for bublus. Let's have a quick look at the armor profile for this beast. Yes, the tank's GG. We can see the collision version. You actually see the actual armor and the angles. You can see at the front of the vehicle, it's 240 millimeters, very thick there, and only 100 millimeters down there. But you can see the effective armor, 256 there, and 140, well, nearly 15 centimeters all along the lower plate. This armor here is very, very well angled, and it's almost an auto ricochet directly from the front. It's only 100 millimeters, and you can see it's quite a bit of it, but it's so well angled that it actually gives you an auto ricochet, and it's about 240 millimeters anyway. And the frontal armor here, 25 centimeters thick, and coming out at about 300 simply because of the way it's angled on top. But you can see the weak spot is the roof, because you can see the armor there is only 41 degrees. And if you put the tank gun down, you can see, I put the angle up so you can see, if he's looking directly at you, look at that big weak spot that suddenly appears every time he's looking directly in your face. There's the weak spot, and you've got virtually automatic penetration on this tank. Ideally, if you're face to face with the enemy and they're not looking at you, and if I do that situation there, okay, then the only weak spots you've got are the cupola on either side. Much easier to go to the right side than it is to the left side of this vehicle. And if we go to the live model, again, you can see anything from the front of this vehicle is very difficult to penetrate. You go to the lower plate, it is fairly well angled there even, and you don't even need to angle the armor, although angling actually does help you a certain extent. So this is a very, very tough tank to take down because it's incredibly well armored. And of course, it's got that rocket effect, which means not only can it get to the action really quickly, but if this guy fires the rockets whilst he's face hugging you, he basically pins you to whatever's behind you and will literally push you back across the battlefield, which puts you at a great disadvantage if you're in an enemy tank that's trying to brawl. So that's the armor. Yes, let's have a look at the next replay. And congratulations to bublus for getting your first ace. The second replay sees Bane Smash in the BZ-176 on south spawn of Mines. Game on. Well, he's not using his rockets until he's got a clear path. He doesn't want to run into someone and lose the effect, but he's trying to get up to the center of the map, or rather to the south side of the hill, as quickly as he can. And you just have to wait for that reload on the rockets, and yes, he fires them again. Trying to get as close as he can. Okay, so he's managed to get really close, but there is some enemy tanks to his left, including a super Pershing, or no, it's a Patriot, but he manages to get into the castle grounds, and now he doesn't need the rockets anymore, but he's still got one set of rockets to set off. Now, 16 centimeters main gun. He's starting to use the standard round. Oh! Didn't get through the Patriot. It did look like he was aiming for the hull. 2 Arty on the enemy team. Oh, takes a round from an SU-130 PM, and that was a penetrating shot. Now he should get him. Oh, yeah, one shot was all he needed. Now that 87 could be about to get a nasty experience, because this shell's going to go in through the engine deck. It's just a really long reload that is really terrible for this tank. The book reload is 23.97 seconds, but you can see Bane's got it down to 18.74, and he's trying to pick the right target to go for. There's a Tiger over there, way over. He's on the other island. Oh, he got him! He actually managed to hit him. Now remember, the standard shells, the alpha's lower, it's only 650, but he did manage to get a low roll for 589. And the Tiger's firing back, but he's not having much success with the armor, of course, as you saw, the armor is actually quite strong. And he gets another hit, 517, still a low roll, but it's still a very good shot. Okay, the AT7 is coming up into the hill. Now he's risking getting shot by that SU-130 PM, but he probably does need to help the SMV-CC-67. He's having a quick look round to see where everyone is. Okay, he doesn't need to help because the AT7 has been wiped out, but he does need to get away from that position because the SU-130 PM might decide to give him a quick shot. Oh, now he can see the other AT7. Now he's going for the cupola, which is the weak spot, but the guy provides the top of the turret. Ah, but he didn't pen. Yeah, probably came back down just in time to avoid the shell going through. And in fact, I think he's using that rock over there to his advantage. Now, currently, we don't really have anybody to shoot with if we go to the south side of the hill. So we really need to take advantage of being able to shoot into the enemy rear. So he's approached the rock. He's side-scraping off it against that SU-130. And now he's spotted a T-103. No shot there. He's behind the rock, I think. There he is, engine deck. And he gets a nice pen with a high roll for 693. Actually, he got 620, sorry. But it's still a high roll. At least I think it's a high roll. Just check that. No, it's not. It's a low roll. Okay, the Oho is just below him. You can see his platoon mate, well not his platoon mate, but his fellow teammate decided to jump off the side at the enemy, and unfortunately didn't work out so well for him. So he's using his speed, always run into an object which is blocking him. Uses his last set of rockets to get him away. There is an enemy tank to the south now he can fire at. Object 274A. Now remember, there's 2 Arty on the enemy team. The 274 is still there. If he fires, the enemy Arty is probably going to try and fire around in this direction. Knocked the tree down, so he's still there. Spotted an FV-4202 coming up. And FV-201. Goes for the engine deck and he gets it. 600 hit points. Every time you fire this 16 centimeter main gun, it does a huge amount of damage if you get the right spot. The only trouble is that long reload. Looks like, yeah, and the RT did try to knock us. Did try to hit us. And then we got the front. Yes! He got him. Another low roll for 646, but it is still a hit. Now the enemy's going to be expecting him to come back to this position again. Only the 1 kill so far. There's the FV-4202. Remember, they have tough turrets, those things, but fairly weak hulls. You might want to take a pot shot. Just test the bushes. Just has a quick look around every now and then because he doesn't want to get surprised. There he is. Oh, lovely kill there. I think that was an Amarak, but I can't be certain. Oh! Good job he moved in time because the enemy RT definitely wanted him. Yes, it was an Amarak. He did get an Amarak on the FV-4202. And he's going back to the same spot. You can see where the enemy RT actually was quite accurate. And we do have a Tiger 1 on the way in. Now, I think he wants revenge for what happened before. But the T-54 first prototype gets the kill instead. Ooh. and whoever's in command of that Arty is actually quite accurate. There's a GW Panther and an S51 on the enemy team. They're 2 up on us at the moment, so we're still behind, but it could change any moment. You can see where the SU-130PM actually hit us, right on the side of the turret. Big hole there on the weak spots. Side of the turret is only 152mm stick. And the enemy's moving. 274 moved over to that rock, but he's got a... Oh, and we just received a hit from the OHO. Came around the hill, sneaked in a quick shot. Hit us with an armed piercing round for 288. Looking to do the same again. Trouble is, we can't help our teammate in the IS-2 to shielded, and he does get taken out by the Object 274A. And now we're down by 2 T103, but it's only the top of the turret, and that is a particularly rounded turret, so it does deflect shots. Okay, go for the weak cupola. Sticks up like a sore thumb. Oh, he gets it! Another low roll, 631. But the AT-7 goes down to the first prototype, and we can see where one of the enemy RT is. Of course, we don't have any RT left in our team now. Can we get a shot on these two? No, because they're both hiding from us. And the OHO has managed to kill our CC-67, so we have to pay attention to them now. And we might be spotted, so we can't move forward. But we do wipe him out from here. We'll have to stay here for a while, though, because we were spotted. And it should be safe. Ooh, yeah, that's the thing. Because we're camping, S51's going to punish us. Oh, that one went right over the top. Yep. The RT player is actually going to be fuming with himself there because the shell overshot the target. Okay, so it's 4 versus 5. They've got 2 RT, so it's effectively 4 tanks versus 3 tanks, 2 RT. But obviously, RT is a force multiplier, and the first prototype takes the hit there. All 3 of our team are on the hill, except for the... All 3 players are up on the hill. 1 down below the Tiger 2. Now, as far as we know, there aren't any enemy tanks to the south. And ouch, we've just lost the first prototype. He got nailed by the SU-130PM. No, I think we're safe on the south. And, oh no! The 274A has just taken out our Scorpion G. So yes, they do have somebody in the south, and he's actually just north of our cap area. And now we've got the SMV CC-67 coming down, but the Tiger 2 makes quick work of him. So it's only 2 left, and oh, the Arty just killed our Tiger 2. GW Panther got him, and I think that he might have actually moved. The GW Panther's probably somewhere on the west side of the map, because that shot must have come in from an acute angle. SU-130PM on the move. Big hit. 868 hit points. He used the premium shells. Now, he did get spotted, and yep, the RT's trying to punish us, but it's damaged to tracks only. They're capping. Ow, the S51 hits us as well with a splash. That was deliberately aimed to try and slow us down and stop us from camping. Okay, S51's on the move. And it looks like the GW's over in the corner. Well, we got one of them. The S51 picked the wrong moment to move, and they've just reset the cap as well. No, I think the M12 is actually over in the corner, or the M12, the GW is over in the corner. Got to get that reset. Trouble is, the enemy knows that we need to get the reset, so they're going to be watching and waiting. We do have that wreck of the Scorpion G, and we could use that. Can't see anyone. Could be over in that corner, or he could be behind the camp itself on the cap area. Okay, they're not going to make this easier. You can dismount from the hill. I'm not sure what Bane Smash is doing here, because he needs to get that cap reset. No, I think he's going to lose this game because he didn't go down the hill. He should have gone down the side of the hill, and now he suddenly realized it. And I think it's too late. I'm pretty sure it's too late now. Way too late. Oh, this is a bit of a mistake, but oh well. Here's the end of battle stats. That was a first-class tanker for Bane Smash in the BZ-176. He did get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8. He got a demolition expert because he blew the FP4202 to pieces by setting off his ammo. And he also got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. Fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. And yes, he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, but sadly it was a defeat because he couldn't get down to the cap in time. And I think he should have either gone down by the side to get down onto and drive to the cap, or alternatively, he could have gone down by the front. There is a way you can actually get down by the front of the hill, although it's a bit dangerous because if you do, and you do it uncontrolled, you can actually die when you hit the bottom. Anyway, let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he definitely got the highest damage with 6,651 because the next highest scorer was the Object 274 on the enemy team, and he got 4,447 hit points of damage, and he was the person who was capping. And I suspect that he was actually, instead of behind the camp or behind that bush, he was just in that portion of the cap, which is just behind the rock, and that's why he couldn't see him at all. The third highest scorer was the first T-54 first prototype, who got 2,297 hit points, and so he did very well, did help us during the game, but sadly, yes, he did get wiped out in the end. And when it came to kills, we can see that it was shared between Bane Smash and that Object 274A. They both got 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to the first prototype, 2 kills went to the Scorpion, the IS-3, and on the enemy team, their SU-130PM, their GW Panther, and their S-51. And when it came to base XP, it was the enemy team came out on top. 274 did 1,454. Bane Smash got 1,066. Even though he was on a losing team, he still scored over 1,000 base in that game. If he won the game, I think he would have had a very, very high base XP out of this game. And the third place man was the SMV-CC56 on the enemy team with 847. He fired 16 rounds, most of them standard ammo, 14 shots, direct hits, 11 were penetrations, 6,651 hit points of damage, of which 4,775 were at more than 300 meters, so he was doing a lot of long-range shooting from the hill. 6 hits received, 2 penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, 5 hits by way of splash damage. The enemy Arty was very active, and he blocked damage of 710 hit points in total. Spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 4, did a 1,013 hit points of spotting assist. Now, he did earn a profit in this game, even though it was a loss, because he got a massive amount for the actual game and personal reserves, and he got personal missions payout. And on top of that, got the Achievements Award for obviously for getting a Epic or Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game. So his grand total was 357,271 credits. And after the ammo, again, mainly standard ammo, he actually came away with 289,986 credits from a losing game. That is an astonishing score by BZ-176. He also took away 4,137 experience points as well. So even though this was a very, very sad loss, I think actually the thing is that if BZ-176 had won this game, if he'd actually got down from the hill, killed that Object 274A, then I think he possibly would have won and got an incredible score out of it. And yes, I think it might have been an ace tanker as well. So commiserations to BZ-176, but what a good performance in the BZ-176. Let's have a look at the third replay. The third replay is on the Pearl River map, North Spawn, and Venom BG is in command. Now, I should explain that the first, or the second and the third replay actually, were from earlier. In fact, I think BZ-176's replay was from December last year, and this replay was from January of this year after the BZ-176 came out. And the recent replay that we did, obviously, which was bublus, his replay was, well, very recent indeed. You can see that Venom is using his rockets to get himself as close as he can to the village. Wait for that recharge, and what's he going to do? Is he oh, he's not going to go fast on this section. Oh, but that guy is. In fact, I think he's going to get to the position where he can't use the rest of his rockets. So I think actually Venom did the right thing here, not to use both of his rockets to get up close, because he was just not going to get any advantage from them. Okay, so enemy BZ up there with a 16cm main gun. Needs somebody to actually move forward, take the shot, and I think it was the E75 who got hit. Yep, he's been hit, so now's the time to move and take advantage. E75's paid for it. In fact, the other guy's gone. He's used his rockets. Now would be the time for Venom to use his, but he's not going to use them. In fact, our Barask shoots across the gap, and this is actually quite useful because we've now prevented the enemy from actually getting into the cap area, and we're going to force the enemy back on that side so they can't get to the village. Okay, Venom pushing the other guy out of the way. Good shot! Excellent shot. Blocked the shot from the IS-3, but he managed to get a hit, and he got 762. Mind you, he was using the premium, which actually does have an 800 alpha, so that's a low roll. Okay, he's loaded. Hello. Doesn't get a big hit, only 181. Now, BZ-176 also got a shot on the T-103, took him out. Now, what's going on? The enemy's pushing around into our cap area. Oh, that was a good hit. That killed the 50 TP. But now we've got tremendous problems behind us because the enemy is in our cap area. It might be a good idea to go into the village and shoot from there. But he's not going to do that. He's going to shoot from this corner. The E75 TS is coming with him. Okay. The M4Y in the cap area. He's looking at us. Doesn't, just hits the observation port. And we get a high roll, 826. Or is that high roll? I always forget on the alpha on these things. Yes, it is a high roll, that one. And he's pulled out of the cap. Okay, we're almost reloaded. E75, the ELC's over there. Oh, he does get a pen there, the 340. Be interested to see where he actually hit. Wait for the 432. Yes, okay, the 432 got the... In fact, actually, it was the other BZ-176 who got the kill. It seems there's a lot of BZ-176s in this game. Well, 3 on our team alone. So there must have been about the time that the tank came out, and that's why it was so popular. It was a Christmas special, I seem to recall. Okay, looks like there's a whole bunch of enemy tanks. And there goes the TNH. Nice kill. It is kind of a dirt camp, this one. Now, the ISM is face hugging the side scraping on the BZ-176. I think that you can go round into the village and shoot down on the guys. There's a Caliban off near the enemy cap area. Okay, the enemy just lost their BZ-176. The ISM did get him in the end. But there's a couple of enemy tanks over here we can deal with too. The Tiger II and the Progetto 46 and that ELC Ever 90 on the enemy team is over there somewhere. There's the Tiger II. Can we get a shot? Yes, we've got the side of the turret. That's it. Let it settle. Good hit. High roll, 823. Now, can we get another shot? Doesn't want to expose himself. He's looking this way, but I don't think he's got a shot, so he's actually given up on that. Can we get another hit? Yes, he does! You can see the slow fire rate of... Oh, what's this Tiger II doing? It's actually a Panther II, but he's an idiot. Oh dear. There's always one, isn't there? Yeah. What a fool. He's just ruining his game because he's not going to get a high caliber. He can't possibly do. But I think he's just trying to annoy the game, annoy other players. D-Deck 394, yes, we know you're a troll, and people will mark you as a troll. None of those shots has penetrated. No, but there's no need to respond to him at all. He's a loser. Okay. Anybody in this direction? Well, no, at the moment there isn't, but if we try to shoot forward at the enemy, we're not going to get any shots because the Panther's just going to keep pumping rounds into our rear, keeping us lit. And I think actually Venom is actually writing in chat. That's why he's not doing anything. Well, this is a bit of a risky move. And he's managed to make it pay off. He got down, and now he's away from that Panther, and the Panther's not bothering him. And he did it again. Well done. Okay, he has been spotted, so he's got 2 more rocket applications, and he's managed to block a shot from the 90mm on the ELC Evan, and I think he might get a chance to take out that Progetto 46, but he'd be better off actually going after the AMBT. Okay, the Progetto has been killed, so there's nothing more for us to kill on him. This is the last bit of rocket work. Okay, the MBT is actually to our left. Oh, he did have one more on the rocket. Sorry, my mistake. And the ELC Evan 90 is just around the corner. So potentially we've got 2 tanks that we can wipe out. He's ignoring the ELC. He wants the hit points from the AMBT. They're the only 2 enemies left. The ELC's not even bothering to attack him, which is surprising. And it looks like we're going to trump on the AMBT. Wasn't able to get the shot in time. The ELC actually does manage to get a pen. And again, but we wipe out the A and B team. We lost 3 shots from the ELC. M90 did pen. But it's 4 versus 1. And I don't think he's going to survive for very long. He's only taken us down to half our hit points anyway. Oh! We got in the way of the KV-4. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. But yes, Venom wasn't well pleased with the KV-4 for doing that. And the ELC, I think he's gone hiding just around the corner. There he is. Hello. Well, that keeps his head down, but not for long. And he manages to dodge the KV-4, and he dodges us. But he can't do this forever. And that's the end of his game. And that's 4 kills to Venom BG. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Venom BG in the BZ-176. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4, although I think he could have got even more kills if that Panther hadn't been such a pain in the rear. Yes, I was going to say pain in the assets. Yes, because he was shooting up our rear and lighting us up every time he did fire. And also a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. He also got a steel wall in that game, not for blocking shots from the Panther, for blocking shots from the enemy, as well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, and a tank sniper for doing the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more. So very well played by Venom VG. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he got 5,507 hit points of damage, so he easily scored the highest in the BZ-176. There were 3 on his team. And the other guy who actually was rather good was the, what was it, 4th place? No, actually, look at this. The A and B T on the enemy team got 3,363 in 2nd place. And in 3rd place, funnily enough, was the other BZ-176. Yes, who got 2,923 hit points. And in 4th place, we've got that pestry little ELC on the enemy team. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to the MBT on the enemy team. 2 kills went to the KV-4, the Renegade, and the ISM on his own team. And on the enemy team, their BZ-176 managed 2 kills. Their ELC managed 2. And the Scorpion also got 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, yep, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,700 for Venom BG. And this was back in January when it was really difficult to get high scores because there were so many people playing them. He got 1,700 base. The only player to get over 1,000. 919 went to the other BZ-176 on his team, Gepard 35. And there was another BZ-176 on that team. Yes, Rantes. And he came in 4th place on XP. So, very good scores. He fired only 10 shots in the entire game, but he got 9 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations. The ELC was one that was actually being a bit of a pain in the end. 2 splashes from the enemy as well. 5,507 hit points of damage, of which 2,365 were at more than 300 meters. Those were the shots he was firing directly back at the cat from the village. 11 hits received from the enemy, though. 6 of them penetrated. Most of them came from the ELC M90, and he was actually going for weak spots, which made it very, very difficult for us to do anything, because he was actually shooting sides and the rear of the vehicle, which, of course, doesn't have much in the way of armor. It's actually fairly thin at the rear. It's only 60 millimeters, so yes, he could actually get through the armor with that low-powered 90mm gun. 1,580 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, 1,150 hit points of spotting assist, and he got 14 defense points when he reset the cab. On a premium count, he actually made 183,719 credits, and just like in the previous game with Bain Samaj, he actually got a huge total to amass, but obviously he did use more premium ammo in this game, and that cost him a bit more, but he still came away with a huge total and 2,805 experience points as well. So Bane Smash did good, did very well for a losing game, but Venom did excellent for a winning game. I hope you appreciate those 3 replays. They're very interesting in each in their own way. The fact that Bane only got a first class, yet he did a huge amount of damage on the enemy. And of course, bublus getting his first ace tanker on Oyster Bay by literally dominating the enemy and pushing forward in almost an assault game where he was just disregarding the enemy fire and just going for it. And very, very interesting indeed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.